Pranams to all of you. And now it's official. Good morning. Happy to be with you again. Before we start, let's please close our eyes. And remember the presence of God, the presence of masters through our breaths. Our beloved Guruji often say that life is a celebration. We have to perceive and realize this celebration. That means the presence of God in us, making us alive, making us to think and to love. Real celebration. Let us try in every breath. Let us use this moment of satsang to improve our love, to have more inspiration to move forward till our goal. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha va bhavet. May you all be happy. May you all have peace. May you all be healthy. And that no one in this universe feel sadness, misery, or affliction. Om, peace, peace, peace. Most probably many of you, or most of you, do not know our ashram here in Brazil, or didn't come here yet. It's a small property in the middle of the city, the biggest city, São Paulo, but still have some green area inside. And in our property, we have very few fruit trees and 2 or 3 or 4 banana trees. And then when we get a banana bunch, normally it's huge ones. And we are here, or only myself or one more. So what we do? We cut in small parts, small bunches, and then we share with our neighbors. Normally we don't have too much communication, but it's an attitude of welcoming them, and we feel good to do that. And once when I did this, I sent some bananas to our neighbor. After a few hours, I was meditating here, and then someone brought something outside in the garage. When I finished the meditation, I went there, and it was one gift from the neighbor, expressing his gratitude for the bananas. And it was a fresh made and warm and smelling so good bread. It was very cold at night. It was a good one. But when it came inside, I look and see that was a bread. But there was a very thin cloth covering the bread. And I look at that cloth, and there was a very simple sentence, expression that was saying, "Thank God in all things." That's it. And that small sentence made me to think a lot. Of course, after at least a couple of slices of that bread. Thank God in all things. If I ask you, do you thank God? Are you a grateful person? And I think all of you will reply, yes, we are. We thank God and we are grateful. But then the second question that related to the second part of that expression, do you thank God in all things? The main thing here is this all. It's easy for us to feel gratitude and to thank God when things go in the direction we plan, when people are loving to us, when everything is going well, my health is okay, my family members are doing well. But can we extend this thankfulness to God, our gratitude in our hearts for all things? This was the question that came to me in that simple plot. And if you think it's not so easy, you may ask, how can I thank God when I'm sick? How can I thank God when I lost my job? When I thank God when someone close to me died? Is it possible? Or how can I do that? Let us just think a little bit about this, because it's so simple, but it's so profound. And if you try to apply this in our lives, it can change our attitude and our experience in the world. The first way of analyzing this is everything in this world, every happening, every person, every part of this creation has two aspects. One is a positive aspect, the good. And the other one is the negative. There is no one in this world who possesses only one aspect. There is no one person who is completely bad or completely good or possess only positive. And depend on us to find this. If we think about a little bit, in our lives, where does our mind goes normally? To positive or to negative? Naturally, the tendency of the mind is to go to negative. We look at one person, she may have good qualities, but it's easier normally to detect, to see what she does bad. Oh, she did this, she did that. It's almost natural for our minds to see the negative aspects. And what happens? We ignore the positive. This is normally. And if we think when something that it's not so good happen in our lives, some situations that it's like a problem for us, if our minds are not trained to see positive in daily life, how can we even try to see positive when problems arise? It's difficult. So this requires a training. We have to train our minds to find out the positive in every situation. And how this begins? In small things in daily life. Whenever our mind is focused in something negative and you realize it, say, no, I will try to see the positive. And remember, it's there, somewhere. It might be hidden, but it's there. And whenever your mind is able to find that positive trait, what will be the result? Joy. We are used to have our minds to go in that direction. So our effort is to move this direction. And then naturally, slowly, our minds will start to focus more on the positive than on the negative. I remember one story, one incident, not story. One Kriyavan here in Brazil felt very sick, and he was taken to the hospital and went to the, I think it's ICU, you call in USA. So he stayed for 2 weeks. His cousin called me and said, please pray for him. He's in not good condition. It's very seriously. and we are very concerned. And we start to pray here at the ashram for him. And then after a few months, I went to a public talk, and before the talk, I saw him in the audience. I was very happy to see him, and then I went to talk with him. And then I asked him, how are you? Did you recover well? I was with a little bit seriously talking to him. I didn't know how he was or if he was suffering yet. And then when he started to reply to me, he opened a big smile and said, I'm really fine. And then I say, just let me ask one question. You just came out from the hospital and you suffered a lot. You had a lot of trouble. And now you are talking to me about this problem, but with a big smile. Can you explain to me what happened, just for me to understand why you are so happy? And then he said, Swamiji, since I was initiated into Kriya Yoga, I have heard that I could do up to 12 cycles of pranayama every time I would meditate. And that was hammering in my mind. But my girlfriend, my work, my studies, the daily busy schedule, I could never even come closer to these 12 pranayamas. And can you imagine? I went for 2 weeks to the hospital. Almost no one was going to see me there because it was some infection contagious. So for 2 weeks, I was able to do 12 pranayamas every day. So it was not a hospital, it was a paradise. Look how beautiful was his way of looking at his internation. He was in a very serious, bad health condition. He was to recover. He was facing a lot of problems. But what was his focus? He was able to meditate much more as he was willing to do and he was not able to do. So everything, there are two aspects, positive and negative. My suggestion for all of you, think about in your life, in your daily way of dealing with things, where your mind is going more, positive or negative. If it's going to negative, try to change, make an effort. Here, we are talking with a very big negative trait of our minds. And this is called fault-finding nature, our critical attitude. For so many years, we developed this, creating this habit of going to the negative. So now, naturally, we move in that direction. We have to make an effort to change. Because if we start to see positive, it's quite natural that gratitude will start to flow in our hearts. And our lives will be really different. This is the first way of understanding this. Thank God in all things. We have to see good in all situations, independently what are these situations. Swami Satyanandaji said, if one person has 100 qualities, 99 are bad, and just one is good, forget about 99. Focus on just that quality and put your mind there, and you start to appreciate that person. Looks like a beautiful thing, but we have to apply. This is one aspect. I remember just also Mother Sarada Devi. She said, if you want peace of mind, don't see fault or negative of others. Otherwise, your life will be miserable. Thank God in all things, good and bad. The second aspect is a little bit deeper than this first one. If you think about every happening in our lives, are they coming by chance? For example, you are sick. It's by chance. Another challenge comes to you, or good news. Are these arbitrarily coming to your life? Or there is some organization, or there is some control, or there's some harmony in all things. If we look in the spiritual perspective, we know that God is the caretaker of the whole creation. Everything that happens comes from God. And if you think a little bit, don't we hear all the time from our masters that are connected with God? They are one with God. That what is God? God is only love. And if God is only love, nothing else, He's pure love, how can something be bad for me coming from the source of love? And then you may ask, okay, but how still bad things are coming to me? Think in a loving mother taking care of her small child. Sometimes the mother doesn't have to take the child for injection. It's painful for the child. The intention of the mother is to harm the child or to do something bad for the child? No. Even that pain the child is feeling taking the injection, it's coming out of love. The mother just wants the highest good for her child. Sometimes the child is not so well. She has to give bitter tablets for the child. Oh, my mother is bad. The child even may think that. But after some years, think about now, about your mother. Every scolding you got from her, every bitter tablet you got from her, every taking you to the hospital for injection. Was it good or was it bad? You say, she did so much for me. It was only for love. If our earthly mother is taking care of us with utmost love, even when we don't see that, what to think about our divine mother, whose love for us is infinitely bigger than our earthly mother? So if we remember that, we may start to feel more gratitude. Doesn't matter the situation. Doesn't matter if I feel good or not. God is taking care of me. He's showing me the right way to walk, to move, to act, to speak. And if something is not going well, maybe He's giving me some bitter tablet. I have to change. I have to take care. But it's out of love. So this requires faith. Faith that He is or she is. She's there looking at us all the time, just sending love and willing to make us to experience that love. So if we go astray from the path, our Divine Mother may do something to put us again on the way. We have to remember that our Divine Mother is there to protect, to care, to love. And there are many ways to do that. And when we think about this, we come again in the second negative trait of our minds that we are going to discuss today. This negative trait is we live based on our likes and dislikes. We create two big lists in our lives. I like this, I love this. I doesn't like this, I hate this. This comes based upon our past impressions and our actual experiences. Slowly, we do something that we like and we want to repeat. We create desire and attachment for that. And the opposite, we want to escape from it. And what happened? We are never in peace. Why? Because it's impossible to have all the time only things from the list we say I like or I love. And that things are temporary. So all the time I'm insecure. Oh God, I may lose that person. I may don't have that food. I may don't have some today. I will be unhappy because it will be out of my list. And all the time we are worried because of that list I don't like. I want to escape. I want to run away desperately from that list. So where is my happiness? Impossible, as long as I'm living based upon these two lists. And not only that, if you think about that, lists are all the time changing. That person I used to put in my list I love, now is on my list I hate. That food I love so much and I eat so much, now another list. I cannot even think about that food. So how can I be happy if all are temporary and changing? And think, if you are all the time running after your desires and possessivities, and you are trying to escape from your aversion, when will be the time that you will remember that everything comes from God and that everything is out of love? How can you expect to be grateful and thank God if you are just running with these two lists in your hands? It's not possible. So think about when everything comes to you, every situation. First we judge. I love, I hate, I want, I don't want. We don't have time to think. It came from God. It must be some higher purpose. It must be something good for my life, even if my experience conscious is not good. When is the time for us to think of God and to thank God if you are living with our raga and dvesha, likings and aversions? So it's another thing for us to reflect. We have to slowly go a little bit above of these two lists, because what lies above this is the presence of God. Instead of saying, oh, how miserable I am, this came to me, can I not at least mechanically, theoretically think, oh God, it's you who is sending this to me. I thank you. Please show me why. Please let me understand why this is coming to me. It can change completely our experience with this experience that we consider as unpleasant or bitter. It's depending on our desire to really have in our hearts this feeling of gratitude. And when thinking about this topic of today, thinking, thank God in all things, a beautiful monk, a saint, came to my mind. He lived around 50 to 60 years back in India, and his name is Paramahamsa. He was a very, very simple monk that does not have beautiful stalks, or he was not so famous, very, very humble. He became a monk by himself. He felt the urge, as it was the call of God. He became monk by himself. And then he starts to move without possessions. And when he starts to move, a thought came to me, to him, some worrisome thought. He said, where am I to go now? I am a monk, I don't have anything. And then immediately came something to his head. God made me a monk. God will guide every step of my life. From that day, from that thought onwards, His whole life was with this kind of attitude. God is taking care of me in every step. And it was not only words, it was true. Let us say he was walking and went to the train station. And he would say, okay, God brought me to this train station. Where should I go? And they say, God will take care. And then some train would stop and he would enter. And then say, okay, I don't have money. After some time, the ticket master would say, give me your ticket. I don't have. Please go away of this train. And then he would come down from the train, say, smiling, say, I knew it. God wanted to bring me to this city. I don't have food. God will provide. And then he was to walk. Food would come to him. Or sometimes no, and he will laugh. God wants to me to fast. So his whole life was a thank God life. So beautiful, and it's an extremely good example for us. Of course, we don't have to be in this level now, but we should try. I remember just 2 more stories of him. Otherwise, I will keep talking and we'll lose our time. And Phil Baba will get mad at me. Once he was going with a friend monk to a train station. They don't have tickets. They didn't have tickets. So they sit on the train, and in a station, there was a security that was an Englishman, and he didn't like monks. So he brought out these 2 monks. They were in their 50s already. And then he started to humiliate them. He started to shout, run there, come back, sit, stand up, run again, shouting. And then he got all their belongings to him. Very few, like 1 Gita, 1 Bible, and some other utensils. They were tired, they were humiliated. And then the security say, now you can come back to the train. And then they sit. The friend monk was completely upset, crying, how can it be? How can one person do this with a monk? And not only that, I had only 1 scripture and 1 water pot, and he's steal from me. And when he looked at Paparandas, he was laughing. And then he get more upset and say, how can it be you are laughing with this humiliation? We don't have any belonging and we are tired. Everyone it was looking at that. And then Paparandas just smiled to him, say, my loving brother, could you not see that it was not a security, but it was God himself that called us? And then the monk get confused, say, of course I didn't see. They'll say, my brother, we are traveling for so many hours seated like this. Our legs and our feet were swelling. We are having health problems because of that, lack of circulation. God understood that, and then he decided to make us to do some exercise, to relax our legs, to bring circulation to us. Look at our feet now, are completely okay and refreshed. And after God given us this blessing of their exercises, he removed our belongings because we are monks. We should not have anything. And he sent us back to our seats. Is it not God so beautiful? He thinks in every details of our lives. See, everything has a perspective to look. Which perspective do you want to look at life? Look how beautiful this monk. One day, he was going to another friend to meditate in a cave. And it was extremely cold and full of mosquitoes. His friend was mad, saying, impossible. I cannot meditate. I cannot sleep because of the cold. What a miserable condition. And Paparandas was just smiling, say, can you not remember or realize that tonight God wants us to be awake the whole night, singing his name and glories and meditate on him? He is in the form of this mosquito, and he is in the form of this cold to bless us with a holy night. The friend could not listen, it was angry, tried to sleep, but could not. And he stayed in a blissful state, meditating the whole night with God mosquitoes and with God cold. Another day, he was in the forest and he sit for meditate a little bit in the sunshine. It was a beautiful situation. And suddenly, one snake came and bite his big toe. He opened his eyes and looked at the snake and he started to cry. And you may see, of course, out of pain? No, it was not out of pain. He looked at the snake and then he starts to cry. Do you know why? Out of love. And then looking at the snake, he said, "Oh God, you are impossible. You came to me in the form of snake and you touch my feet? I am passing my whole life willing to have your darshan, your presence, to bow to your feet. And you come to me in disguise of a snake and you bow to me. How can it be?" And he's just crying out of love, out of devotion, remembering God even in a snake bite. Of course, it's a long way to go for us. Yes, maybe. But can we not start just now? This is my reflection for today for all of us, to think. Not only think. I will give to all of you a homework. Every day, after you wake up, challenge God. Say or pray, "God, today doesn't matter what you are going to give me. Doesn't matter what situation I'm going to face. I will remember that it's coming from you, the source of love, and I will be thankful, I will be grateful. I will not forget. Doesn't matter the situation." Can you do that? Can you try? At the end of the day, just see how many things I could be grateful, how many things I could thank God, not only the good ones, even the challenge ones. Could I change, at least externally, could at least express, "God, I don't know why I'm telling this, but thanks. Please let me know afterwards why I'm thanking." But we should try. We should try to have this kind of relationship, this kind of attitude, and our lives will change. Our vision will change. Our experience will change with this simple thing. Thank God in all things. We will expand our hearts. We should try. It's in our hands. Our meditation will help a lot. But our attitude in daily life, in small things, can do miracles in our lives. I'm telling all this to all of you, but especially I'm telling this to me. I'm trying to get also inspiration to change, to move forward. We can do this together. Should we try? It's an invitation. And now, before we conclude our talk, I will ask all of you to close your eyes. And before we go to our meditation, I will read just a small passage of a book that Guruji gave me in 2019. It's called God Calling. And he told me, read every day. So every day since that day, I read this book, and I consider that is his message direct to me. And it's so beautiful. And it's related to our discussion today. So I'll read, and then we go to our short meditation. Please close your eyes. This message is from July 31st. The title is Gratitude. Give me the gift of a brave and thankful heart. Man proves his greatness by his power to see causes for thankfulness in his life. When life seems hard and troubles crowd, then very definitely look for causes for thankfulness. The sacrifice, the offering of thanksgiving, is indeed a sweet incense going up to me through the busy day. Seek diligently for something to be glad and thankful about in every happening, and soon no search will be required. The causes for joy and gratitude will spring to greet your loving hearts. Keeping our eyes closed, but keeping our hearts open to receive and to experience the presence of God just now. Watch your breaths. Just watch. How beautiful can be our lives. When our eyes and minds will see only good everywhere. And we'll feel gratitude in every moment, instead of sadness, instead of anger, instead of fear, just love, just happiness, just thankfulness. It is in our hands. How do you want to look at the world? Go with your breath. It is going to show you the way. Oh God, I will try to remember you and to be thankful to you in every situation. Good and bad is only a product of my mind. Let me feel your love, your tender and caring love, motherly love, in every moment. Oh God, reveal thyself. Please take a slow, long, and deep inhalation. Hold your breath and bow. Bend your body in front, slowly, as much as you can. Exhale. Normal and conscious breath. I bow to you, O God, O Masters. Please fill my heart with gratitude, with your love. Remove all the useless emotions and negative traits of my life. I offer everything at your feet. I know you are here. I know you are listening to me and blessing me. I will never forget you anymore. Bless me, give me strength. Oh, my Divine Mother, let me feel thy protecting arms, warming arms around me in every breath. Whatever you have in your heart, just offer to God now with a prayerful attitude in the silence of your heart. What do you want from him or from her? Ask and you will get. Love, love, only love. God, God. Inhale, slow, long and deep. Hold. Please sit back. Exhale. Normal and conscious breath. He's closer. In every conscious breath, he's closer. Try to feel. A thankful heart is the home of God. Inhale, slow, long and deep with love. Exhale, slow, long and deep. Spread love. Inhale, slow, long and deep. Oh Lord. Exhale, slow, long and deep. Oh Lord. Slow, long and deep inhalation. Bring more love within. Slow, long and deep exhalation. Spread love everywhere. Inhale, slow, long and deep. Thank God. Exhale, slow, long and deep. Thank Lord. Just one more time. Inhale. Hold your breath. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Exhale. Normal and conscious breath. Please take your attention inside your head. Concentrate between the two eyebrows. If you need, you can press a little bit your index finger in this point between the eyebrows for a few moments to help your concentration. Then remove your finger and let us meditate together in the presence of the divine inside us. Try. Hey Hari Sundar. Oh God, beautiful. Keep your eyes closed. Maintain this meditative state. Just feel this calmness embracing your life. We have to move forward till this state becomes our lives. 24 hours a day. Till this thankfulness will flow naturally from our hearts in every moment. Till that point, we have to move. We have to make our efforts. We have the path. We have the blessings of God and the Masters. We have the presence of the Divine Mother taking care of all of us, just showering love in many forms to all of us. We have to open our eyes to see, to experience. I thank all of you for this beautiful opportunity to reflect, to get together, and to get more inspiration. Praying to God, praying to our Masters to bless our lives with more determination, with more discipline, with more love, with more faith, with more gratitude. And trying to perceive this divine presence in all of you and everywhere, I bow to you all with sincere gratitude. Om. Amen. Thank you all for this opportunity, for this beautiful satsang, and let us move forward. Let us change our lives. Hope to see you soon. Jai Guru.